One law enforcement officer wrote on this forum about his current life situation of having to watch all of these evidence videos that are being taken in. They wrote, "No, you never get desensitized to it. You get burned out by it." I mean, some of the stuff I've seen, I can't get it out of my head. Stupid things like pet names that your partner might call you, like, "Oh baby, sweetie," or even "big boy," will bring back thoughts of you had to witness in these videos, and it's not a great experience. I have seen things in my life that I should never have seen. I mean, things that'll make your skin crawl, which is very scary to think about it. First of the 20 tapes, which we will refer to as the video diaries. 20 separate tapes, 20 hours long video diaries. It starts on Ricardo Lopez's 21st birthday. His present to himself is this: the camera to document his life, his art, and most importantly, his big plans. So for the next 20 hours, that's over the span of 9 months, so he's not vlogging like 20 hours straight, he will start documenting his own mental collapse until he finally successfully mails a bomb to London. 9 months later, Ricardo Lopez would be dead. 20 hours of footage would be taped that shows his mind completely breaking apart, and he just gets further and further from reality. And a bomb will be sitting in a South London post office, getting ready to be delivered to a famous celebrity's residence. He had a few tasks that he wanted to do prior to all of this, but the smell is so intoxicatingly horrendous, he feels like he's gonna pass out. He starts investigating, which is basically just him walking around, pausing, aggressively sniffing, and then walking around, pausing, and aggressively sniffing. And he's trying to figure out if the smell gets stronger or weaker in certain areas. Right here is the most pungent scent. He looks up and he sees the door leading directly into apartment A. He scrambles to get the keys out. He knocks on the door. Maintenance, maintenance. So the maintenance staff, they're allowed to come in without prior approval in this building to fix emergency issues, which in this case, it seems like it's an emergency issue. Everybody's been complaining about this. He opens the door and nobody's home, or at least nobody's responding. The smell just keeps getting stronger as he walks in. The entire apartment is trashed. I'm an exterminator, a bug man, as many people would choose to refer to me, cockroach man. And now she is all he thinks about every waking second of Ricardo's day. Nothing else matters but Björk. It's getting bad. Ricardo actually knows it's getting bad. He would retreat into his little fantasy world where he's having full-blown conversations with her in his mind. I mean, just constant back and forth. And at first he said it was to indulge himself, but now it's become a problem. Ricardo and his buddy Ralph were out to the movies one night, and they bought tickets, but they still had some time to kill before the movie started. So they head over to the Barnes & Nobles in the same shopping plaza, which is like a massive bookstore. And they start walking through the magazine aisle. He sees 2 magazines with Björk on the cover. Jackpot. He buys both. If Björk is on the cover, he doesn't even check the price. He grabs it.
Double.
In an interview, all Ricardo remembers or wants to remember from this is that she talked about having a rough relationship with alcohol. He scrambles in his diary. She's an alcoholic, big time. Which is not very childlike of her.
He did not like that.
Yes.
He's mad.
And she has a lover. So at this point, she already has a son.
Yeah.
He starts spiraling in the video diaries, thinking about what the two of them have done together intimately. He says, she broke the worst law you can break, in my book. She went out with a black man and f***ed him.
Oh.
Probably went down on him too. Who knows? She probably even got him in the back. Like, he goes on a rant of how all the black men are taking the white woman. Yeah. So he starts ranting. There's less than 3% of white women in this world, okay? But to let you know some of the facts, to remind myself, 3% of white women in this world that are of childbearing age. 3%, that's it. And now they're dating black men? Well, he doesn't even say black men. He uses like a lot of slurs. He also goes on to state that the best type of place for him to attack, another fantasy of his, is to go, quote, shoot up a place, and the best target, quote, would be a f***ing rap concert. He was able to get his hands on 36%, even though he wanted 100% hydrochloric acid. But he starts experimenting with the acid to see if it'll even work in the first place. He gets all suited up in what looks like a face shield, rubber apron, rubber gloves, a rain jacket. It looks like one of those disposable rain ponchos, but I'm sure it's from his former position as an exterminator, right? Oh yeah, he quits his job. We'll get into it. It looks a little more protective than a raincoat. But his biggest concern isn't even the contact with the skin. He's like, it's the fumes. The inhalation of the fumes. Now, the camera ends up malfunctioning, so we can't see what the results of the experiment are, but he does test the hydrochloric acid on pizza, bread, vegetables, and then ultimately a little bit of on himself, all with very, very disappointing results. He says, I'm not too happy with it. He starts manufacturing his own spray mechanism. Basically, this is his getup. He's going to have hollow out a book. He's going to send letters to Björk's management and say, hey, I want Björk to read this script of this movie that my massive Hollywood company is producing. Maybe she wants to be a part of it. He's going to ship over this book, and inside of it is going to be a hole. When you look at it from the outside, it looks like a book. But when she opens the cover to read it, there's going to be a mechanism that gets triggered, and it's going to splash sulfuric acid all over her face, chest, hair, everywhere.
Very insightful, very sadistic. Because this is what happens if you splash a lot on you and then you just wash it off. It's going to do minimal damage in comparison to what it would be if it were to stay on your face at least a few minutes, couple, 3 minutes. That will be beautiful. It burns right through clothing like that. It makes holes in clothing. So that's going to be fucking beautiful. Fucking beautiful.
I mean, this is going to destroy my family. This is going to be a skeleton in their closet, but I can't live for them. If I'm gonna live, I have to live for myself. I can't do this. I can't be alive to please others. It's not gonna work. I'm too selfish for that. So other terrifying moments from the footage include him making comments about his body. He talks about how he has an extra X chromosome, and 1 in every 1,200 people have it. And most of the time, people don't even know they have it, but some people have symptoms, and his symptoms included enlarged breasts. So he's stating even when he is thinner, he has large breasts. You know, the French say that revenge is a dish best served cold. So he says that it's gonna help his family. He says, this way, if George finds me, it won't be that much of a shock. It'll be a depersonalized type of thing because I look weird as f***, and I hope that'll be a coping mechanism for him. So I'll look just so unrealistic and unlike myself, so that should help. Because even though the acid bomb was intercepted, it did not physically hurt anyone. I'm sure the harm was done to Björk and her team. She made a public statement afterwards where she stated, I was very upset that somebody had died. I couldn't sleep for a week, and I'd be lying if I said it didn't scare the f*** out of me. That I could get hurt, and most of all, that my son could get hurt. But she still sent flowers to Ricardo's family. Because they too lost someone special.